And we welcome Freddie Coleman, Freddie and Fitz, ESPN Radio, and he's with us here on Big Board Sports. Good morning, Freddie. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, happy Friday, you too, Roger. How's everything going, my man?
Pretty good, partner. Pretty good. I was looking for maybe a lead story last night at 11, or at least something to help fill up my sports cast outside of the baseball. And then I got it when Odell Beckham Jr. was, hanging out in the locker room talking about how he was going to change his behavior, and he didn't want 6-year-olds turning on the TV and seeing him act like this. So I turned that into a story on our 11 p.m. sportscast. But do I believe him? I'm not sure about that.
Well, and it's a fair question and a fair answer by you when it comes to this, because I'm not saying that he's been a bad guy. I don't think anybody can realistically say that about Odell Beckham Jr., that he's a bad guy. I don't get that sense from him at all. But what I will say is this. He's become a distraction, and we knew that was not going to be his intent. That was not what he wanted to have, that connected with him, connect with the situation. But the best way to eliminate whatever that distraction word means in this deal with him, just go out and play football, go out and catch the football, and stop trying to make everything a highlight play where you're trying to be on the Sports Center top 10. I think that's been a bigger problem. I know he's frustrated he's not getting the football. All wide receivers have been like that throughout the history of the National Football League, guys, last 20 to 25 years. But if you go out and just catch the football and make plays, you'd be amazed how much of this noise will go away, and you won't be that distraction that we've heard about in the past week or so.
Well, he said, Freddie, he was looking forward to playing in Green Bay. I think a lot of players do enjoy that atmosphere. They're more healthy than they were on Monday night in Minnesota in the secondary. I know Eli Apple will be back and ready to go. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie should be ready to go as well. Can they beat Green Bay and get back on track here a little bit for the Giants?
Yeah, they can beat Green Bay. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I think a key to that with their defense, you mentioned the secondary guys coming back, but they have to make Green Bay a one-fisted team, because when Green Bay is able to have that running game that complement Aaron Rodgers, you have to honor that and deal with that, whether it's Eddie Lacy or anybody else they have in the backfield. If the Packers have balance, then the Giants are going to have problems. And we've seen the Giants this year. They have the ability to stop the run. There are guys in the middle with Damon Harrison and also Olivier Vernon on the outside. They've shown the ability that you're not going to run on them, but they don't get after the quarterback. They only have 4 sacks. They don't have an interception, so that pocket's empty when it comes to the Giants. They better make sure they fill that pocket and try to fill that against Aaron Rodgers. So they're capable, but if they don't make Green Bay a two-fisted team, Green Bay's defense will get a chance to get a little bit of a rest, and their defense has played really well so far this year. If they can make the Packers one-dimensional, I don't think there's any doubt they can win. If they don't do that, if they don't get any interceptions, if they don't get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, that's going to be a long Sunday night for the Giants in Green Bay.
Time with Freddie Coleman. We have Freddie on every Friday, and we go around the NFL picks leading into now week number 5 already. Freddie, Tom Brady back at quarterback for the Patriots. They're in Cleveland. The spread is minus 10.5. Head-to-head with my partner, Zachary By. I took New England, but a lot of people saying, Roger, Cleveland has played pretty well this year. I know they don't have a win. Don't know if Brady might be a little rusty coming back after this 4-week layoff here. Maybe it'll be closer than you think, and that could be true. But New England's winning this game, right?
New England is winning this game, and I'm with you. I think they win by more than 10 points, because he is going to look as upset as we've ever seen him in the National Football League. He is determined to go out there and wreck the league, and he and the Patriots are not going to give the Cleveland Browns any belief that they're going to have a chance to win this game. And Hugh Jackson's done a pretty good job with this football team. But when you have players that don't know how to win, and a coach in his first season with the team, that's really a high road that you have to take to try to make that work in Cleveland. So they could be a couple of years away before they clearly understand how to close out games or stay close and then have a team feel that pressure. That being said, the New England defense, I think, has the makings of being a top 5 defense in the NFL this year. Having Tom Brady back, there's going to be a relief that's going to permeate this whole football team. And that's no disrespect to Jimmy Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett, who were more than adequate in the 4 games they played without Tom Brady. But having Captain America back, everybody is going to feel better. So it may be a little tight early, but I'm with you. I think the Patriots win this game by more than 10, 11 points.
Hey, Freddie, Zach By hanging out with Roger here in studio. I got to ask you about my Buffalo Bills. After 2 weeks, we were talking about whether Rex was on the hot seat or not, and then a couple of dominant performances against Arizona and New England. Could they make it 3 in a row when they got to travel cross-country to play a stingy Rams team who's at 3-1 right now?
I can see them doing that for this reason. Whatever identity offensively they wanted to find, they probably got a little bit closer to that by the way they're able to beat New England. And I give them a lot of credit because Rex Ryan said, we're coming after the quarterback. That's exactly what they did. And when you're doing that and you're running the football and you have a belief that you can win, and you also know that Tom Brady was not on the other side, that would fill me with confidence too. And the jury's still out on the Rams. And you're right, their defense is really, really good. For my money, Aaron Donald may be the best interior lineman. I don't think maybe. He is the best interior lineman in the National Football League. For those who don't know about him, watch that guy in the middle of the Rams defense. He can single-handedly disrupt an offensive game plan. But that being said, I'm still not a believer in their offense. And Rex Ryan is going to look at Case Keenum and say, you're not doing to us what you did to Tampa Bay. We know they can't play defense, but we believe our defense is better. I don't think coaches worry about the time difference and everything like that. They're just going to go out and play. And what they did last week against New England, if they can deal with that and deal with Rex Ryan being on the hot seat, they're not going to leave anything to chance. And I think Buffalo's going to be 3-2 when Sunday night rolls around.
Time with Freddie Coleman. The other team of regional interest, the Jets, are going to Pittsburgh. Good luck with that. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, I think, are going to roll big time over the Jets, who are 1-3, and they are a football team, Freddie, going in the wrong direction here.
And a lot of it, and not everything, but all of it is on their quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. You can't throw 9 interceptions over a 2-week period and say, oh, I feel pretty good, I'm going to turn this around, because I'm thinking, dude, have you not watched the film? I'm not buying that you believe that you can turn this around, because we've seen this before from Ryan Fitzpatrick, that he can look really good for a game or two, or maybe a month, a little bit more than that. But when he goes the other way, he goes big when he goes the other way. And so now you're asking him to revert from what we've seen the last couple of weeks, go against Pittsburgh, beat that offense that you know is going to be scarier now that Le'Veon Bell is back. His first game back, he gets a $144 rushing. Well, good luck to you with the defense dealing with that. And the secondary has not been good all season long for the Jets. And now you're asking in a potential shot-for-shot game that Ryan Fitzpatrick find a way to match Ben Roethlisberger, and he's thrown 9 interceptions the past couple of weeks. And how much of this is an indictment on Geno Smith? Because is Todd Bowles looking over at him and saying, hey, coach, Ryan Fitzpatrick's not playing, but what about Geno Smith? He goes, is Joe Namath available? That's bad for the New York Jets, because they don't want Geno Smith out there at any given time. And they know that Bryce Petty is not ready and Christian Hackenberg, the rookie's not ready. So their fortunes are rising, or right now falling, with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And in the gauntlet of a schedule that they have right now, that can't be a good thing for the New York Jets.
Freddie, can you make a case for the Falcons and their high-powered offense going into Denver and beating the team with arguably the best defense in the NFL?
That's going to be tough. They're going to score some points on Denver, because this offense has the ability to really be special. Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, they're a great complement running the football with Matt Ryan and that passing offense. Julio Jones is not getting 300 yards receiving against Denver. Let's just put that to bed right now. But that defense, I mean, come on, at a certain point, Atlanta, you're going to have to tackle people. You don't have to just chase people. You got to catch people behind the line of scrimmage. And Denver's offense has been not just better than advertised, but at times that big play ability, we've been able to see that the last couple of weeks on the road against Cincinnati and on the road against Tampa Bay. And I know Tampa Bay's defense is not any good. So if it's an offensive kind of game, I'm going to side with Denver, because I know their defense will slow down Atlanta enough. The Atlanta defense has not shown they can slow down anybody. I think if you played 8-man football and they had 11 on defense, they still would not be able to slow down an offense in the National Football League. That secondary, that defense of Denver is special, and you know they are relishing the challenge of seeing a Julio Jones on the other side. Denver's going to win this game. Atlanta's going to be good offensively, but not what we saw last week, where they just lit up the Carolina Panthers defense.
Hey, one more, Freddie. Cincinnati Bengals 2-2 going to Dallas 3-1. A lot of Cowboy fans liking what they see so far, and Prescott's been really good, and Elliott's been incredible running the football. I don't know what they're going to do when Tony Romo's ready to return. I would assume he would get his job back, but I don't know that is etched in stone. Cowboys win this game over a good Cincinnati Bengals team on Sunday?
It's funny. I've been going back and forth with that, Roger, because you're right. And it's amazing how that offensive line of Dallas looks a lot better when you have a running back like Ezekiel Elliott, who knows and is really figuring it out a lot quicker what to do. And Alfred Morris, how about having that guy as a change-up with Ezekiel Elliott? That running game is going to continue to be special for the Cowboys, and that in turn helps your quarterback, and it in turn helps your defense. But I think Cincinnati believes this is a must-win game because they're in a division in which right now Baltimore and Pittsburgh are 3-1. They can ill afford to lose ground and cede ground to both of those teams, especially when I believe both of those teams are going to win and be 4-1 by the time we roll around on Sunday night. But this Cowboys defense, they're playing better than anybody could have imagined. They're back in takeaway mode, what we saw a couple of years ago from them when they had that great run. I think Dallas finds a way to become 4-1 because they also know they're in a division with the Eagles at 3-0, the Giants and also Washington 2-2 right behind them. They can ill afford to have a loss. I think that defense will make enough plays. Tyler Eifert not being in the lineup again is really going to harm Cincinnati again. It's going to be a tough physical game, just like the Cowboys played last week versus San Francisco. But I think they'll be 4-1. I think they'll find a way to win with that running game. Dak Prescott not making mistakes, and that defense will have a key turnover at a certain point in this game.
And Freddie, I don't know where you stand on it, but if they continue, the Cowboys, to win and Prescott continues to look as good as he does, is that going to be a tough decision for the Cowboys to make when Tony Romo is ready to return?
I think it's already a tough decision, Roger, because I don't think anybody anticipated that Dak Prescott would have this kind of pull already with this football team. To a man, not just on the offensive side of the football, but defensively, they talk about, man, this guy has control of everything. This guy is not overwhelmed by the moment, and he has everybody in the right position. Normally, there's always going to be that, what I call that period where you have to have everybody has to figure you out or try to figure you out. That period was really short with Dak Prescott, and I think a lot of that happened in the preseason. The minute that Tony Romo got hurt, that they felt confident that he could be the guy, and he's gone out there and validated that. So whenever Tony Romo comes back, if it's week 8, if it's week 9, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, let's say you're 5-3, you're 6-2, you're really going to have to sell that team that, yes, we need Tony Romo back in there above this rookie quarterback. And that may be a harder sell for Jerry Jones and this organization because I don't think they thought for in a million years they would have to think about that, waiting for Tony Romo to come back and be the quarterback of this team.
Freddie, enjoy your weekend of football, man. We love having you on our show on Friday, and can't wait till next week. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Freddie.
You too, Roger and Zach. Always a pleasure, boys, and have a great weekend, too.
You too, man. That's Freddie Coleman. We love having Freddie on.
And he
of
just
course,
brings it, man.
He does. He did every single Friday, and now you can listen to him from 11 to 2.
Yeah, Freddie and Fitz.
And I catch him every night I'm coming home from the Mighty 1-3. Freddie and Fitz, ESPN Radio, and Freddie Coleman every Friday.